Today, we're going to be talking to Clara Minor from Minor Self-Defense and Fitness. Clara is going to take us through her origin story, how she started doing what she does, and what bold decisions she made that defined her current business and her current passion. I can't wait for you to hear about it. Let's hear from Clara now. Clara Minor, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much. I'm just pumped to be here with you.
Yay! Okay. I'm super stoked because you and I have been connected for several years. I was going to say many years, but several sounds more appropriate. It's been a number of years. And, because everything during the lockdown is kind of a blur. And being that you're a part of the Gather community, we've spent time together regularly over these last few years, but I'm really excited for people who haven't had a chance to really learn some of your story to get to know more about you, because that's when I really became a super Clara fan. I mean, I was already a fan because your presence in our town. We both live in Santa Cruz, in the Santa Cruz area. You're known in the community, and I wanted to get to know you. But once we got a chance to meet one-on-one and hear your story, longer story, I really was quite, enamored by the whole situation. So I'm really excited to get to bring that to some people.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's start by going back in time, because you have been in business for a long time, and we'll definitely talk about that. But let's talk about Clara, like your kind of personal origin. I know that you have some really strong family ties. You had a whole journey with your mother, who's passed now, but when we first met, she was still around, and you were doing so much with her and siblings and all across the country. So give us your kind of Clara origin story on how you became this badass woman that you are.
My mom and dad were both entrepreneurs. My dad had his own business fixing semi trucks. I mean, huge semis. And he was sought after all over the Bay Area. He was a brilliant man. He could listen to a semi truck and know exactly what was wrong with it and figure it all out. And so he was very well known for that. And my mom worked from home, and she made beautiful, outrageous clothing, really outrageous clothing. And my favorite story is that she made about 10 capes, all red velvet capes, and the hood had all these rhinestones in it, and all the way down for the queens in the Mexican Day parades.
Oh, wow. Those are
And it was
gorgeous.
massive parades. And here comes the queen wearing my mama's cape. I'm like, yeah.
That's amazing. So I was going to ask, was she doing costumes, or was it actual clothing? So it sounds like it was almost a hybrid in a sense, but she could do anything, huh?
She could do anything. She made three-piece men's suits. She made wedding dresses, whole wedding ensembles. She made whatever people wanted. She was amazing. Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah. So their entrepreneurial spirit kind of just, I guess I just latched onto that.
Yeah. I know you have siblings. Are your siblings also entrepreneurial, or is this something that you kind of uniquely
Nope.
grabbed and they went on their own merry way doing other things?
Nope, my siblings aren't. They all had jobs. They have retired. They're getting their pensions and all that stuff. And I'm like, I am serving my community, and
And where are
the
you in
world.
the birth order? Are you on the younger end of your siblings,
I'm
or
middle. I'm the middle of
you're in
five.
the middle? Okay.
And none of them took on the entrepreneurial spirit. However, I have two nieces who did. And one of them is a catering company in Nantucket, and the other one is a seamstress, a sew-tician.
Yeah.
And she followed in my mom's footsteps. And so she's got all the clothing. She makes clothes. She's got her business in San Luis Obispo.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So you started early as an entrepreneur. What was your very first business?
A tiny, tiny little walk-through food place that you could only come in, order something from the counter, and leave in Alaska. And we were
Last
frozen yogurt as one of the things when frozen yogurt was not even
in
known
Alaska.
in Alaska. In Alaska. And people would come in winter and have ice cream,
Oh, how
household
funny.
sandwiches made with the bread from a local baker a cafe that made organic bread. And so we would get their bread, make sandwiches for people,
Mhm.
and serve soups. Every day we had soup and sandwich and the ice cream. And it was
Nice.
so fun.
Did you like doing like the restaurant food service
I
kind of stuff?
love cooking and baking.
Yeah,
I love cooking and baking. So yeah, it was fun. I loved it.
awesome. And what put you in Alaska?
Money. It was like, "Woo, there's this huge pipeline. Let's go up and see what we can do." So we
Yeah.
went up and joined the whatever union it was that hired cooks and cleaners, and that's what we did. We went
Okay.
in as bull cooks, you're called, and we cleaned barracks and we helped in the kitchen. And
And for all the people who were working on the pipeline construction and maintenance and everything.
exactly. And boy, what
Okay.
an adventure that was. It was like the Wild West. It was
I
so
bet.
fun.
When was this?
That
When
was in 70. Oh gosh, now
70s.
you're making me
Well,
think.
you can just say 70s. That's cool.
73, yes, the 70s.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, Wild West. I mean, I can imagine, and we see movies even of, like you say, the Wild West. Obviously, that's, more like,
The
but it was the
Teamsters,
same idea, right?
yeah, the Teamsters would drive up the Alaska Highway with all this alcohol. And then they would sell it to all these people. Oh my God. And we were cleaning a barracks one time and a whole crap load of people left. And in the garbage can was a 357 Magnum. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God. Yeah. Didn't want to get caught with it on the plane. So he just puts it in the garbage.
oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Yeah, leaving town, got to leave this behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's amazing. So started with the little restaurant in Alaska, made a little money, had a big adventure, and then keep going. Tell me the rest of the
Came
story.
back to California after my daughter was born up in Alaska. Came back as my parents, everyone was down here, and I wanted everyone to get to know her. And then
Yeah,
just ended up staying. And within 6 months, we had already found a studio in Santa Cruz that we wanted to train in the martial arts. And within a 6 month period of time, we
that
decided,
you wanted to personally train for your own practice.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we were there within 6 months. We found it. We were there for 5 years and then purchased it.
amazing. So you moved back home, you've got your whole family around you, you're building community, you're raising your child, and decided to go into a new business with your business partner. And this was a long time ago. You told me, I think you've been in business overall 40 years.
Yeah, May 29th, which is my mom's birthday,
It is.
we signed the papers for the business. And it was a
Nice.
martial arts studio and ran that for about 25 years. And then 15 years ago, I went on my own and I decided to run the studio on my own and just have been doing it since then.
So tell me about that decision. I mean, obviously, you've got kind of business partner, personal things that happened that, not everyone needs to know all the nitty gritty of all of that stuff. But making that change, that's your bold decision that like you had to decide to take it on your own
Yes.
after having a partner and having that support system, or maybe it wasn't that supportive, I don't know, but being there where it's not just you holding the bag, as they say.
Having a partner really makes a difference in there's pros and cons. And the
Sure.
pros are that you're not relying on just you to make every single decision and bring in all the money and put out all the money and the whole thing. You don't
Yeah.
have to make all the decisions. However, I was doing all of the admin and teaching classes. So I was involved in the entire
Kind
business.
of the heaviest lifter.
Exactly. So I was already kind of set up to do it, except that day that I made that decision, I went, okay, now what am I going to do? I just,
Yeah. How are you going to teach all the classes, do all the admin, and
exactly.
the rest that was being done by someone else as
And
well?
then here comes the universe doing its thing. Here comes an angel. She comes in, she goes, hi, do you need any instructors? I know Les Mills programs. And I went,
Okay. So were you doing only martial arts before you
no,
added that,
yes,
or
we
tell me
added
about how it
classes.
changed?
In 1996, added the first kickboxing in the whole county of Santa Cruz, fitness
Amazing.
kickboxing classes to music. And from there grew, and then it grew into all the other studios, and then the gyms were doing it, and it peaked about 2003, and then it started falling off because
A lot.
in gyms just didn't have the background that you need and didn't know where to take it, so it kind of died off. But
Yeah.
it's still in the martial arts studios. It was still fitness
Okay.
kickboxing. And then we added Pilates and Zumba and body pump. Body pump was the big one. That was the Les Mills program that this girl walked in and said, "Oh, I can do body pump." So that was great because she could cover that part. And then I trained her on how to do our own kickboxing fitness program, our kick aerobics
Mhm.
classes, and had her there for quite a while filling in until I could hire other people. And it was magical the way that it all came
Oh,
together.
that's so great. So you're there, you're trying to figure out, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to do everything that needs to be done? And here she walks in and says, I'm not going to do what you're doing, but I could add more, which gives you just a little bit of space.
Right. And then I
Yeah,
ended up hiring an admin for the office work and to
awesome.
do all the menial tasks and check people in. And so I had an assistant there all the time, and that it worked out. I mean, that was what I needed.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know how I was going to do that. When I made that decision and it was just like, bam, done,
Yep.
was okay, now what? Oh, I didn't think about it, so I didn't have time to freak out about it. It's
Yeah.
just, what are the next steps? What is going to open up to me? What's going to come my way for me to continue to do this? And through all of the ups and downs, the financials, the membership, all of that, I'm still in business, which is my message from the universe that this is what I am meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And that is to help women empower themselves to reach their own freedom through their bodies as the vessel to
Right.
receiving that badass courage and just standing up for themselves and making their own decisions.
And Clara, what I see is, you're talking about, your individual like class takers and the community that you've built, and like relating that to you making that decision. Like, you're teaching them because that is what gave you the courage to do your big change, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so after 25, 30 lifetime of training yourself, training your mind, training, building your own confidence to make that decision 15 years ago, imagine the decisions. I mean, you've trained hundreds, thousands
Thousands
women.
of people, thousands.
Yeah, people, but and now I know you focus a lot on the women, but not 100% necessarily.
Correct.
And think of that. I always talk about the ripples in the pond factor, right? Like the people that come to the gather community, for example, right? I'm just me, and then I have this circle and the circle and the circle, and they all grow. So when you have thousands of people that you've impacted, thousands of ripples, thousands of circles, and then they're overlapping. And I mean, can you even wrap your head around where that reach has gone to that you don't even know about?
Not even,
It's
not even.
so amazing.
But yet people tell me, oh yeah, everybody talks about you. Oh yeah, we know who you are. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We know Minorsan. We know Clara. We know Clara. And it just amazes me. I'll go into a store and someone will go, "Aren't you?" I go, "Yes, I teach self-defense and fitness." Oh my God, so and so that. Oh my God, this is what I heard. Oh my God. Yes, you're right. It does. It does go out and it just touches people, and in whatever way it does, you never know. You
Right.
never
There's
know
no
how
way to
it's
know.
going to touch somebody. I hear from people who I just had somebody sign up yesterday who hasn't been with me for 10 years.
Oh,
10
and they
years.
came back from 10 years ago?
Yeah. I have
Amazing.
people who have come back 5 years later, 2 years later, 8 years later. This one was 10 years. And I was just like blown away.
Well, because the impact stays with you regardless of where you are personally at the moment, right? We're not all ready today to do the things we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago. But it might still be in your head.
Mm.
It might still be something that you're like, I know someday I really want to do that again. Or
Exactly.
that was a great time. What if I tried it again?
Yes. And
Yeah.
It's how they make you feel. That's what you
Yeah.
remember.
Yes.
Absolutely fits with this because it's they remember that feeling of whatever it was they were getting from it.
Yeah.
The empowerment is what it really gives. Whatever that joy, whatever that was for them, the community, whatever, that is what they remember.
Well, and I think that's why, as I said, I knew of you before we even had met for the same reason. You're in the community, you're, a figure that that is known whether they've met you or not, right? I knew of you for many years beforehand. And that's because of you knowing your mission and being willing to be seen out there in the world, right? You're in the community, you're doing things, you're doing everything that's necessary to reach as many people as you can because you're so mission driven to help everyone be empowered in their body and in their courage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
However, being visible and showing up to the world in all the social medias was not easy.
So
When
tell us about how that started for you because you did it automatically in the classroom. You do it
yes,
automatically, I'm sure, in person at festivals or, whatever in-person things that you were out there. If you had a table at a thing to talk to advertise the studio or whatever it might be that you showed up in real life, shifting that to social media. Let's talk a little bit about that. I think that's a great one.
the being in front of groups. So I have a whole group of people that I'm teaching in the martial arts world. We
Yeah,
had different groups and different
sure.
ranks. That was presentation. That was
It's like a show. Yeah.
almost like a show. Doing demonstrations, you get up there, you know your stuff. The audience doesn't. So
Right.
that gives you confidence in doing what you're doing. And that's what I tell anybody who's going to get up and speak on a stage. You know your stuff. They don't. So
Yep.
just get up there and talk about your stuff, talk about what you do,
Yeah.
and forget about what they think about you. Just give your presentation
Yeah.
because you know what you're doing. So because of that, I was then doing live was easy. Doing live and teaching was easy. Getting on a stage and doing a demo was easy for me. Presenting to getting up and speaking, that was different. But I pulled in those skills that I had
Yeah.
already learned and got up there and did some studying about what you do before you come on stage and how you present yourself when you get on the stage and how you look around at everybody without saying a word. Make sure you catch their attention. Then you
Yep.
speak and deep breathing, all of those things I utilize when I have to get in front of people that I don't know who I'm presenting for the first time.
Yeah.
Going to social media, the first time I had been doing ads, so it was all pictures and different things and different posts. But when Facebook started lives, my first two lives were of me showing the camera away from me, showing the class or talking
Sure.
about, I went on one of the Wharf to Wharfs with friends and I looked at the camera briefly and then turned it away. And those are my first two lives
Well, yeah, because you're like, I just want to show you what I'm doing, not
without,
who I
it
am.
was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't want people to see me. I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. So I
Yeah.
just showed what I was doing. And
Mhm.
that was it. And then just through all of the social media growing and growing, and then Instagram switching to Reels, and that was what they were pushing. And here comes TikTok and all of the things. I started creating videos and just started posting them. And if I didn't like it, I redid it. If I didn't like it, I redid it. I'm still not doing a lot of lives only because I feel like lives are, I don't know. I'm not yet there to do
Have a
live.
good reason.
They, okay, when I see somebody doing a live
Mhm.
and they have one person watching, if I tune in and I'm like number two watching, and then it's not interesting to me, I really, really, this is funny, but I don't want to hurt their feelings. I don't want to leave because then that brings their energy down.
Mm.
And that makes it harder for them to keep presenting. Oh, somebody left me. I'm not that important. I'm not that. And as women, I know we all deal with that. So I don't want to give them that part that they're going to just be depleted because I left and now there's just one person. So that's why I don't watch a lot of lives. And if I see a live and I know the person has a lot of followers and they always have a lot, I'll log in and watch it. And then when I'm done, I just leave. and they don't even know that I left because there's
Right.
450 people on there. So I haven't really gone to lives really just for that purpose. And I like to curate my videos so that people understand clearly what I'm saying and the message I'm trying to deliver. So if I say something and I go, I cut that out or I redo it. I don't like,
Yeah,
and
of course.
all those filler words, people just get bored with that. They lose your message. So I work on getting very clear with my message. And every once in a while I still say, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, and so what you touched on was two different things. I love that we're talking about this because, this is real life for what you're doing to grow your business. You're doing these videos so that people understand who you are, what you're doing, what your mission is, how they can connect with you, what it is they're going to learn when they do all these, really great marketing and educational items. I just said marketing and educational like points, right? So the curated and tightly edited informational videos, great. But I want to invite you to think about the lives in a different way, because you're right. People might see that you're on, and then if you leave, they might see that you leave, but not everyone thinks, "Oh, I'm not good because they left." Most of us will say, "Oh, okay, well, let's see if anyone else shows up." Right? We have to learn to remove the self-judgment of what we're putting out there. And part of that is allowing yourself to decide what you want to see. If you want to watch someone's live, watch it. If you can only watch the first 5 minutes, at least you've seen them for 5 minutes and they can be like, I'm glad Clara saw 5 minutes, even if, right? Switch
I
it.
hope they think that.
And the other piece of it is that specifically with Facebook Live loves live video and will show it to more people if you put it out there. So as far as like increasing viewership for other stuff, if you do lives, you're going to start to have more followers. So something to think about. And, and it really comes down to, we all get to do whatever it is that makes the most sense for us. The work that you do, and I actually am, what I love about seeing you do your thing is you are, and it's part of your training, right? You're very consistent and deliberate, and you know what you want and you know how you're going to do it. And you're always in action and you have a plan. And it might be a giant plan that's overwhelming, but you know that if you do this piece, then at least that piece is going to be done. Right.
Correct.
A lot of folks in the coaching world will struggle with taking that one action, knowing that there's 20 other actions that also need to be done because the 20 is overwhelming them and they never do the one. So what I think is inspiring about you is you do that one. You're like, I'm doing this. This is what I'm working on today. One of the things you come to the most with the Gather community is our co-working sessions, because you've always got stuff to do. So today in this hour, I'm going to get this done, and you do it. And I would say that you're one of the most like deliberately focused people that I know. And I think it is from all of your training, from all of your years in business. And it's part of that, having an understanding of martial arts training, not having trained myself, but my kids did, and et cetera. The mental strength that comes along with all of that is why you are that way, right? It's also because of your upbringing, your entrepreneurial spirit and everything, but the practice of being intentional about what it is you're trying to accomplish is something that you do very well, that I think everyone could be inspired from, because I know that I am.
What the martial arts does is it gives you a goal. It
Oh
always
yeah.
gives you these smaller goals to eventually reach that bigger goal of getting your black belt.
Right. Progressing through all of that.
That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you training. That's what keeps you studying to get to that goal and getting better and better and better. I would train for 3 and 4 hours a day before I got my black belt. It was sometimes overwhelming, just going over and over and over physically.
It was a lot.
Body do the stuff.
Yeah.
And that kind of discipline absolutely carries over to, this is what I need to do. How am I going to get it done? Do I need help in getting this done?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I going to go with this? And really working on just one thing, getting it done, and then going on to the next thing. And for me, that works the best. Just doing little snippets here and there is doesn't work for me.
Well,
I
it's
have to do
it's
it.
also see the big picture and narrow it and narrow it and narrow it, and that's the path.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I it reminds me actually when my kids were in martial arts and it was COVID. And, so continuing to attend class on Zoom was very hard, but they did it. And my oldest one had already achieved some junior black belt levels, but my younger one hadn't yet, was still a brown belt. And I kept saying, look, I know that this is a challenge doing things on Zoom. And eventually they did outdoor classes in the park or whatever, which was great. But I said, do you want to get to black belt? Because if you do, you're going to need to keep going. You need to go to class. You need to keep training. You need to keep practicing. And he said, yes, I do want to do that. I'm like, if that's still what you want to do, if that's still your goal, let's keep moving forward. And it was a big help to have that goal, or really that's the only reason why he kept going, was because he did have that goal to achieve that rank. And once that happened, COVID was still kind of going on and things weren't what he'd envisioned it being longer term. So once achieved that goal, that was kind of the end of it. But both of my kids have said that they would be interested in going back at some point in their lives, whether it's, as young people or when they grow up or whatever, because it's all a positive experience. So let's
Yeah.
talk about the experience. So you're doing a lot of fitness, but you're still doing martial arts, or tell us you're doing it's a fitness studio mostly, right?
It's a self-defense fitness studio.
Self-defense.
So,
Okay. So talk about specifically what you're doing in your studio that is reaching your clients today.
okay, first of all, COVID is what made me make this change. That was the second thing that brought me. I let go of traditional martial arts training, which means the uniform and the belt and all of that stuff, the testing and all of those things out the door. And COVID on Zoom for the kids class is what made me let go of the kids. It was overwhelming. It was too much. It was,
I can't imagine like the 5-year-olds and the 10-year-olds even at that time.
I'm teaching 45-minute sessions and I'm like this, okay, come back in the camera. Jody, where are you? Come on. Yep, right. I need to be able to see you. Okay, leave the dog alone. Come back into the training constantly. And when I finished that kids class, I'd be sitting here
exhausted
at my computer for 5 minutes before I could even get up and do anything. It was so exhausting. So I let go of the kids eventually in 2022 on May the 4th, be with you. May the 4th, I graduated my last child to junior black belt. And that was the end of the children's program. And then I decided I'm focusing on women and teen girls because teen girls are the most vulnerable population out there.
Yeah, I believe it.
They're young, they're out on their own without their parents. They know everything in the world. And women, and getting adult women to say, stop doing what you're doing if it's not working any longer and start doing what you love. And through that, that's where I came to my women and teen girls are my main focus. However, I also do the workshops for all groups, organizations, and businesses, and anybody else who wants their group to have a special workshop. I do those all the time.
Yeah, great.
So really learning self-defense through fitness gives you the body knowing, it gives you empowerment, it gives you the strength, the stability, the power, which creates the confidence. And then in learning how to actually defend yourself. So out of the martial arts I was doing, I grabbed all the techniques, and that's what I'm teaching to my women on a regular basis. And it's about repetition, 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 repetition. Yeah. And that's why I do not do how-to technique videos and throw them up on YouTube or throw them on socials, because that doesn't work. It never has worked. And it's a disservice to people going, oh, look at that cool thing. Let me try it. Let's try it. Well, you're never going to get it without correction. You need correction
and regular practice, right? It tends to be a more one and done kind of attempt.
Yeah. So that's how I got to doing what I'm doing now. And the blending the two together is I love it. I love it because you're getting strong, you're getting fit, you can do push-ups and planks and all the things and squats and jumps and jacks but you also know how to fight. You know how to defend yourself. Your body is becoming that automatic response. That's what you want, is the automatic response, because that's what you're going to use when, if ever you get physically attacked, automatic response is going to come on right away. And that's what I'm training women to do.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I am imagining the, the first kind of self-defense little workshop thing that I ever attended was, I don't know, 5 years ago or something like that, which I'm in my 50s. So that's already a lot too late. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Never too late.
I remember going, it's never too late, but 30 years before would have been great. But I remember being in there and being terrified to make a big move, right? To use the powerful muscles and your whole body to do this kind of example that we were doing together. And so I love the idea of you're in there in your fitness and you're doing big movements to work your body, and then you can relate those big movements to what's needed when you're in a moment of crisis or fear or escape or fight or whatever. So I love that so much.
Exactly. I've had women who have come in to the studio, trained with me through trauma. And their first 2 or 3 classes, here we are moving, and they're crying. And I go, that's okay.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's okay. Throw the cross, just let your tears come, throw the cross. Okay, do this and work them through that, letting those tears flow and working one-on-one with them and just being present right there with them while we're doing that movement, allowed them to release the trauma.
I love it.
It is just amazing how that works. And it's been more than one woman who has cried in my classes. And I'm there to support women wherever they are in their lives, whatever trauma they have had in the past, and to empower them, help them empower themselves. And it works. It works. I have a video that I just posted on Instagram about, I think I'm in my car saying, here's a testimonial quick of one of my members, and she's been with me over a year now. And it's just, that's what happens. That's what happens. Her confidence have just gone sky high.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I think that we need to wrap up, and because we could just keep talking and we could keep hearing stories about all these people that you've touched and talk more about how it feels and all of it. But I guess what I have to just say is, Clara, I mean, I've heard you speak. We've talked several times like this, and it makes me so happy to know you're doing this for people. When you were talking about people crying in class, I knew exactly that's what you were going to say, because it's so terrifying and then empowering to go on the journey from being the victim or being afraid to just not being terrified anymore.
Having confidence and in your abilities and in who you are.
And knowing that is who you can be from this point forward.
Yes.
Like life is different.
Yes.
Starting now.
You have value. Exactly. You're a valid human being. Your life has value. You have meaning in your life, and you can do whatever it is you want without consideration for other people's needs or wants or desires or grabs or bullying and all the stuff that other people try to put on us. You can just say, this is what I'm choosing to do.
Yeah.
I have girlfriends like that. We're planning things. Oh, not going to work today. Okay, cool. We know life, and we know that we have to make choices based on what we need. And that's the way it is. It's being able to do that confidently and change your mind instead of saying sorry. You can apologize if you did something bad, but getting rid of that word sorry, we all need to get rid of that word.
Sorries, the shoulds, all of that.
Exactly. And just and this is where I am right now. This is the decision I have to make, and I'm making this decision.
Yeah. Because it's the right one for me.
Go see their therapist. Because it's not my issue. It is yours.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friend. Thank you for being with us today.
Much.
I so appreciate you. You said something about you just did this video, whatever. Obviously, this is going to live beyond that video being anything considered new, but we're going to have all of your contact info and everything, how people can find out about you, see those videos, engage with you in the show notes and in our promotion and stuff. And we're going to get this out to all of the women who need to hear that they have the power to be the badass that you see for them, even if they don't see it for themselves yet.
Exactly. Thank you for having me. This has been a joy.
I love it. Thank you so much, my friend. All right. Mwah. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bold and Brilliant podcast. I'm your host, Tracie Root, and I want to invite you to check out the show notes, find out where you can connect with our guests, find out more about what I and the Gather community have to offer you, and be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform. Thanks so much.